I want to mention that the most important thing that often gets overlooked is that you make money when you buy and not when you sell. Now, I'll say that again. In real estate, you make money when you buy and not. Hello, and welcome to our real estate discussion. Now, today I'd like for us to have a little conversation about the three most common ways in which you can invest in real estate. Now, before I get into that, I want to mention that the most important thing that often gets overlooked is that you make money when you buy and not when you sell. Now, I'll say that again. In real estate, you make money when you buy and not when you sell. Now, I'm going to do a whole video where I explain exactly what it is I'm talking about. But I just want you guys to please keep in mind that statement throughout today's discussion. Now, the first of the three most common ways you can invest in real estate is the buy to let strategy. Now, what that is basically is that you purchase a property with the intention of having a tenant from which you will collect monthly rent from. That is option number one. The second option is the buy to flip strategy. Now, this is where you would look for undervalued properties in a particular neighborhood where you found there is a way that you can either bring the house back up to market value, or if the house was in perfect condition but you had a motivated seller, then you would of course just buy and resell within a short period of time. And the third option is the development strategy. Now, this is where you would develop a property from scratch and either sell it off or let it out to tenants. Now, for me to explain, I just want to explain a little bit more on the buy to let strategy and the importance of buying right. Now, in order for everything to balance out and for the numbers to work out perfectly, it is important for you to buy at the right price. What's going to happen is that you're going to place a tenant, and naturally your expectation is that your tenant is going to be able to cover your monthly expenses and leave you with a little profit, depending on your strategy, of course. For this to be possible, you have to have the right amount of monthly repayments on your financing. Now, if you had purchased the property at a higher value than you should have, what's going to happen is that you're not going to be able to cover your monthly costs. And eventually, what's going to happen is that you're going to have to start paying and servicing things like maintenance and possibly levies and rates if it's in a sectional title from your own pockets, which isn't exactly the reason why you get into real estate. Now, there are reasons, which I'll explain at a later stage, why you can allow for this to happen, or you can mitigate your exposure in such regards. But for the purposes of this video, what you want is to end up cash flow positive. Now, with the second strategy, which is the buy to flip, another reason why it's important to buy at the right price, just excuse me. Another reason to purchase at the right price is that what you're looking to do is to buy, fix, and sell the property as quickly as you can. Now, for you to do this, especially the selling part, for you to sell this as quick as possible, the property needs to be priced right. And for you, the quickest selling houses are the ones that are priced slightly below market. Now, the only way you can do that is if you had purchased correctly. So what you need to do when trying to implement the buy to flip strategy is that you need to make sure you purchase correctly, and if you need to do any refurbishments, those need to be done as quickly as possible so that it doesn't delay the time the property takes before you can put it back onto the market. So that's the buy to flip strategy. And the third is a development. Again, the development is quite plain and simple. What you do is you find a piece of land. Well, that's not actually the most common. The most common is finding industrial property and actually converting it into a residential property, either for student accommodation or for just regular residential. Now, what's important about the numbers in this regard is that you need to factor in things like architecture, structuring of the building. Will it actually allow you conversion? Is the area zoned for residential? Is it zoned for commercial? You need to apply for certain plans, and all of that needs to be considered before you actually put an offer on a piece of land, on a piece of property. So let's recap. The most important thing that I want you guys to take from this video is that you make money when you buy and not when you sell, right? And the three most common ways in which you can invest in real estate. The first being the buy to let strategy, the second being the buy to flip strategy, and thirdly, the development strategy. Now, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm really glad that I could share a few things with you today. Please, if there's anything you'd like to know, anything that you'd like to ask from me, please let me know in the comment section. Let's have a conversation. If you guys have any properties you own already, please let me know. I'd like to know how that's going. If there's anybody you know that would like to know a few things about property, please refer them to my channel. I'd love to connect with as many of you as possible. So please hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications for you to know as soon as I drop another video. And I look forward to seeing you guys again.